This is a bit of a mad story, I think. It's kind of a mad story because from when I was growing up, I suffer from a speech impediment, so speech and social language disorder when I was young. So I never spoke when I was younger. When I was back at high school, I never really was like, I was just the short, fat kid. No one really ever took me seriously because I had nothing to stand on. I had nothing to me other than just a kid that people felt sorry for because of my mum and that. So yeah, it's almost back. It's just opposites. And for people that don't know, some people already know about my story with my mum, which I still find kind of hard to talk about because I don't really talk about it that much, that often. I do it like once a year, and then that's really it. I just try and just get it out of my mind. And when I was born, my mum was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and that is a massive factor for what spawned like me and my thoughts and the way I think, and as it would to anyone. My entire childhood, I had to grow up at a very young age when I was like 8, 9, 10 to look after my mum, because she was day by day, week by week, getting worse and worse. Because multiple sclerosis, for those that don't know, it's a disease that doesn't really kill you; it just basically just weakens you, and then it makes you so weak that anything can kill you. A common cold can take you out. So on 17th of February 2013, at Blackburn Hospital, she passed away, and that was a massive to anyone. That'd be a massive thing for them, and for me, and I think for anyone, they need a coping mechanism. So YouTube was there for me. As that day, I put out a video, like an update video, but before that, I did like graphic design kind of videos because that was a passion of mine, which I then opted to go to university for graphic design, and I put out a video titled Update, which was like a 2 minute video of like me when I was 13, just in my bed crying, and I still put out a video, even when I had like 100 people that was watching, subscribed to me back then, I still wanted to let them know about why I be gone. So about 2 weeks after that, I did a video of scary games. Back then I was watching people like Markiplier, Syndicate, PewDiePie, stuff like that. Of course KSI as well. Like for me, for YouTube, my main two inspirations is KSI and Syndicate. Both British, both funny, both have their own little things that you remember them for, which I really would like to influence myself because I think that's very important to have that connection that gets people to remember them. Yeah, YouTube was for me a coping mechanism because it got things out of mind. So I did scary videos for a few months, and getting like 10 viewers, 20 viewers per video. Like 2 likes on a video, no comments. I was pretty much talking to nobody, pretty much. I was just doing video for that one comment that was somewhat positive to me, and it kept me going. And that's why YouTube really all started for me back then. So let me just have a refresh and think. So when I was still at high school, doing my little things. I started FIFA back in FIFA 13, so I did like career modes, pack openings, little stupid things like that. Those videos are still up on my channel to this day, and you can still watch them, and you can see the growth in me and like me as a person, my personality in a good way. Not like I've changed as a person. I'm still the same person. You can still tell my little jokes that I have back then, but I've grown since then massively. 13, 14, 15, 16, the FIFAs, I love it because I can look back on me back then and I can see my entire journey. So that's where my YouTube kind of site started. So about 3 years goes by since I first started making videos back in 2013, and I was working at McDonald's. I was doing my college courses. I still was doing a lot of things in my life, and I was still doing YouTube because I just enjoyed it. I uploaded like 700 videos, 800 videos before I even earned a single penny from it. Like I just did it because I enjoyed it's more of an addiction. It's an addiction when you upload a video, that excitement that people are addicted to: alcohol, cigarettes, drugs, gambling, the list goes on, betting, whatever. For me, it's just making videos and uploading it, which may sound cheesy, but the rush you get just before you click that video to go upload and to go live, everything in your head thinking, is this the one, is this the one, is this the one that's going to go up, is that the one that's going to bang, is this one that's going to get 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 views? That excitement that goes through you, but for each video, makes you want to do another one after that the next day. And of course there's times, of course it's hard when you don't get that many views, you put like 5 hours, 6 hours into a video, doesn't do that well. Of course it brings you down, but you just wait for the next one, the next one, the next one. You just keep working harder and harder and harder, and then you know that one day it will work out for you. And for me, when I realised that YouTube was a thing that I can potentially pursue, because I was doing YouTube for 5 years before I even got any real success, especially financially, because from my family, I could tell them, oh yeah, I want to do YouTube, but they won't believe me until I actually show it by not just stats and subscribers and views, but by actually showing the money for it. Because they won't believe me, because they believe that university, you can only be successful in life unless you go to university, which for me is absolutely backwards nowadays. I think experience is so much more important. And even though I did go to university, if I could redo it, I'd gone for apprenticeship. But yet again, I would not have met the people which I met up in Newcastle and get the experience I would have got. So it has its positive benefits. So back in like 2017, I was still doing videos. I only had like 10,000 subscribers. There was a YouTuber called Lucas, I remember. When I did graphic design, I did thumbnails for YouTubers. And this was the one little thing that gave me from no hope to having a little tiny bit of hope. When I had about 500, 1,000 subscribers around there, I made a thumbnail for Lucas. Fifth YouTuber back then, a pretty big one, like 250,000 subscribers back then. And I just simply made him a YouTube thumbnail. And since then, I made some more. He told some more YouTubers about me. I got in contact with them. I made their thumbnails. And then I was talking to these YouTubers that I was watching on my screen. I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to these guys. I'm like having like fanboy moments each day about I'm talking to these guys which I used to look up to. And now like to this day I'm mates with most of them, which is insane. And that's where it kind of gave me a little bit of hope, thinking, I'm talking to these big YouTubers and they can teach me something as well. And I help them out as well. And that's where it all started for me. So having that little bit of hope, and I still thank Lucas to this day, massively, because I probably could have still done well with YouTube even without that help, but definitely not to the scale it has gone to now without him. If YouTube puts your video recommended, that could be a massive difference, and that's what happened to me. Back in this time, not this time this year, but let's say March 2017, I was at university. I was struggling with my YouTube. I was struggling with my uni work. My relationship with my ex back then broke down. So I had literally nothing, literally at one stage. There was a week in my life that I was thinking that I've messed up my entire life because of I'm confused in two paths between university to just do what. That was the easy route. If I wanted to get easy route, it would just do my uni course, bin off YouTube and just pursue that. But that's not what would that would not make me happy. And I know that if I took the easy route and do university, then I know that if I didn't put my entire 100% into YouTube, then I will forever scare me and just it will always be in my head for my entire life that if I did not do that and pursue YouTube, then what could have happened? So I knew that I've already put 5 years of my life into YouTube. I could not have just thrown that all away that easily. So one day I did a video titled, I think it was 20 times so fewer players, like FIFA 17 players. That blew up a bit, 200,000, 300,000, which for me was massive. And then it all came from that, and it gave me some more hope. And since then, I went back up to Newcastle with a pure aim just to do YouTube. So no uni, no nothing, a full year in a flat with a couple of mates of mine, just doing YouTube, double uploads a day, working my absolute arse off. People think that YouTube, all you do is just make a video inside your room, that's it. You don't do it, you don't have a proper job. I do that a lot. You do not have a proper job, you just make videos, that's all you do. You're just having a laugh. I wished. I would have headbutt half of them. It's just like you don't really see. You try and just edit a video non-stop every day. It's the most tedious things. Tedious, and that's for me. I think for most YouTubers, that's the hardest thing. Just editing, like that process. That you're not having fun. You're just in your room, just looking at the screen. It's not that fun to do, but it's about how you go about things. So that's what I feel. I think about a lot about what happens if my YouTube next week, next month just falls flat. I think about it a lot because you need to be prepared for that kind of thing, because with YouTube it's a very, very scary industry, because you could be the dog's bollocks 1 week and in a month's time no one cares about you, and then you could go from having 100,000 views a video to about 20, 10,000, lower than that. It's very scary. Which is, imagine having a job where every single process of it is a competition. How fast you can do this, how quickly can you do this, how good can you do this. You got other YouTubers trying to copy you, steal your ideas, stuff like that. It can be proper just, it's like a war zone out there. So you've always got to think about the future. So in like a year's time, if my YouTube just falls off, I would probably pursue where I originally began with, and that'd be to be a graphic designer. If not that, fortunately, because my YouTube is quite decent now, I'll probably try and go into a company. Like, my kind of dream, if I have a dream that in 5 years' time, YouTube ends, if I get older, if I got different ideas, my dream would be to work at Burnley Football Club as part of the media team. It'd be always been a name of mine, because of course it's my club, my passion for them. It'd be a dream just to be working with the players and all that good stuff, and it'd be back home as well, so I'm still with my family. So that's my dream, but in an ideal world right now, if you just take everything away, I'll probably just try and be a graphic designer again, and just, I like creating stuff. It's always been something which I feel like I had some sort of idea about. I'm not a handyman, I'm not good with my hands that much, other than just opening packs with. So that's probably what I'll try and get into. So the first thing that everyone says to me when they meet me is about what is Dean Marney and why is he what he is. And honestly, the only thing I say is it's just what happens when a lot of people that's bored has a lot of time in their hands, I'll say. Dean Marney is not a thing that I created, it's not a thing that I spawned, I don't take credit for it. Dean Marney is just a thing that people always, he's a very hard-working player. He's a very good player for us back when he played for Burnley, a few years ago. So I didn't make the Dean Marney chant. I guess I probably just brought it into the FIFA scene. That's all I really did. How it came into with me, because the Marney shirt right here. It's people just sort of, they love to have something that represented you to yourself, I feel. So for me, I try to implement it into my videos on FIFA. So when you open packs on FIFA, you do like little superstitions, try and get more luck out of it. Try and imagine that you're gonna get more luck. So I just stroked a card of Dean Marney. For a card in the game, I just stroked it, saying, you know what, if you stroke this card of Dean Marney, then you will get better luck on FIFA. By opening packs, you get better luck by stroking the card of Dean Marney. And since then, it just kind of stuck. People loved it. People loved Dean Marney and why he is what he is. And it just kind of, it's put it from there. There's fan pages Dean Marney for my stuff. There's people that just knows me because of Dean Marney. There's kids all across the world, not just in England, but all across the world, that says Dean Marney everywhere across Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, to me, to everyone, and it's absolutely insane. And my one question is, what does Dean Marney think about this? Does Dean Marney hate the absolute guts of me? Because for me, the way I see Dean, that he's just not that bothered about social media. I don't think he's that bothered. He doesn't have a Twitter account, he doesn't do anything like that. He rarely even does interviews. He just sticks to himself. He plays football, and that's what he cares about. That's his job. And he sees it as a job, not as a social media kind of thing. So if I could one day meet Dean Marney and talk to him, that'd be absolutely incredible. Because I'm so curious to think, what does he actually think about? Does he even know who I even am, for one? Does he even know? I'm presuming he should know who I am at some stage because of, just off word of mouth, really. But if I do one day meet Dean Marney, I would love to hear his thoughts about it. So Dean Marney didn't mean to be a thing what it was, but people just loved it. It's a catchy name, Dean Marney. Been off Finado, get Dean Marney. But it's a catchy name, man. So it helps me out as a brand in a sense. But if it helps a Dean Marney, I'm not too sure. Doubt it will for football, but maybe it could get a laugh out of it every now and then. Burnley Football Club was in Europe. European football, Europa League. I don't care if it's Europa League or Champions League I don't even care. But Burnley was in the Europa League playing against Olympiacos in Istanbul, Basaksehir, I don't know how to say that, Aberdeen. These clubs which I can never even dream of. To this day, I'm sad now that it's almost gone, it's happened. Because I don't know in my entire life I would ever see that ever again. I'm a bit sad now, thinking that that could be it. You never know with Sean Dyche, you could potentially do it again next year, 5 years time, you never know. But in my head, that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I think that we as Burnley fans and also players as a club, I think we took advantage of it while we can. And we have nothing but fun memories of this experience. I mean, I remember one situation when I was in Athens. I was in the Burnley Square where all the Burnley fans was, and I just was quiet. I just looked around me thinking, I'm in Athens, Greece, to watch Burnley play Olympiacos in the Europa League. And I was just thinking, what? I watched us playing against Colchester at home about 10 years ago. Even if I'm 20 years of age, I'm not that old. I'm not that young either. I've seen, us when we were quite dull. And, I can't imagine, I have a lot of respect for a lot of older Burnley fans that they've seen us in, second, third, fourth tier of English football, and they've seen from where we are now. And I can't even imagine, how proud they must be. I feel so proud of my club because, for me, support your local team. People go around that a lot. It's easy for me to say that because I'm born in Burnley. Fortunately, Burnley is a decent club. But for me, there's a deeper feeling that you have with your club if you're actually born there or you've got family related to the club than if I'm a Man United fan but I have no connection to them. And that's what's so important. That's just the best part of it all. That it's just my local team just doing bits and doing bits. It's mad. When I first went Burnley games and I even thought to bring my iPhone to the game, start doing some recordings, you get a lot of reactions from people. Most of them, they just don't really care, let you do your own thing. Of course, the older I got, the more worse reactions I've got, because when you're a little kid, they think it's just a little kid, you can't really do much. But the more I get, the more that people think that, okay, you're taking a mickey now. And I started it as just an extra thing to add to the channel when I was younger, and I went to games anyway, so I thought I might as well record it. With YouTube, you always need people that you look up to, because if you don't have someone that you not try and copy, but try and take little fabrics out of what they do and try and implement it into your own stuff and remaster it in your own way, that is so important. So let's say for my three YouTubers that I do like and I kind of think of is KSI, Syndicate, and Lucas. Lucas because he gave me hope as well, but I liked his energy, the engagement. The engaging content is so important. I don't like very slow kind of long unedited content. I can't do it myself. I don't like watching it. I would rather make content that I would watch myself. That's the way I see it. So KSI's content, absolute one of a kind in the way he does things, and he has that these little, you remember certain parts about the things he does. So Heskey and I have Dean Marnie and it's absolutely incredible because it's natural. It's natural how your viewers take these little things and they relate it and they build this even more bigger project into an even, it's insane. And Syndicate as well, a local lad, and just seeing a local, to be fair, it's not that local, it's like a 45-minute drive from where he's from, Manchester, I'm from Burnley, but even still seeing a person around your area doing well is so inspiring, and that's kind of where I get told a lot by other kids around Burnley, that they watch me and they get inspired by me. So it's all a cycle, and those three people, you need inspirations, you need to take little things from what they do, and I think that's a lot of things that people just go wrong. They just do their own little thing and they don't act like, I'm Liam Waddington, just a normal kid in Burnley, and Vizeh is a exaggeration version of myself. I'm not different, I'm just a bit more, I can let out my weirdness by Vizeh. And Liam Waddington, I'm a bit more quieter, I'm a bit more, I can set off a laughing at. But I find that insane when you think there's two personalities of yourself, and everyone has their own little personalities. Sometimes a bit more loud, a bit more bubbly, a bit more weirder, they start doing weird shit. But when there's always that quiet side that always kind of you want to relax, I can be a proper deep person sometimes, and I try and keep that out of what I do with YouTube. So, but if you show that too much, I've shown it with a few videos that I am a very deep person sometimes, because I've got a lot of things that happened in my childhood that I still deal with to this day, but I use YouTube to try and just get my mind off things. So Vizeh is no different to me, it's just a bit more louder, a bit more better for YouTube, a bit more better for people that if they're having their own struggles in life, they can forget about it, because they're watching some absolute mad stroke Dean Marnie cards on their screen. And they're thinking, well, as long as I'm not that guy, I'm okay, because I'd rather not be that weird. And when the camera turns off, I'm not stroking D morning still. Sometimes, but not as often. So I think that's very important to have that kind of release. That release of your weirdness, that release of your loudness, because if you keep that away, it eats up in your head. It's on your head sometimes. So I think it's so important to have that kind of release about your own emotions. And I'm a firm believer that if anything's going wrong in your life, anything, in like bullying, or even more personal with your family, talk about it, because it eats away at you. And that is why nothing bad happened to me when I was younger with my mum, and even my own shadow, because there's a lot of things. I don't want to go into that much, but it's not great, and I know it's not as that different to what a lot of kids in the country do have and what they deal with, and just talk about it. And for me, YouTube was that thing that I talked to, and that's where it all started for me.
That has been my Easter update, so I hope that you guys enjoyed. Well, shout outs, remember to subscribe to them. The names will be back here again. My name is Vizeh. It's been an Easter update, and I will see you all next time.